Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the March 15th, 2022 Planning Commission meeting. Could everybody please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Mr. Bentley, would you please call the roll?
I will. Mr. Hardy.
Here.
Mr. Tuckfield is absent and excused.
Right.
Mr. Marley.
Here.
Ms. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Spatafora.
Here.
Mr. Oliver.
Here.
Mr. Bentley, present.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to excuse Vice Chairman Tuckfield from all roll call votes this evening.
And I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Spatafora, seconded by Mr. Meyerly. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, next item. Approval of previous meeting minutes. Is there any discussion, questions?
If none, Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes.
Motion by Mr. Spatafora
Second.
to approve the minutes,
I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Bentley. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion anybody opposed? Motion passes. All right, approval of tonight's agenda. Any discussion? We have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Meyerly to approve tonight's agenda, supported by Mr. Oliver. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Old business, A. Do we need to even talk about this, Mr. Box? We've got this big red tabled on our...
Other than make a motion to table it to the next meeting, I don't think there's anything to discuss.
Okay. No need to discuss, but we're going to table the rezoning request from R2L to C2, I think it is, to next meeting. And I'll make that motion.
Support.
And supported by Mrs. Smith. Mr. Bentley, would you please call the roll?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Hardy.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Marley.
Yes.
Mr. Bentley. Yes. Mr. Oliver.
Yes.
And Mr. Spatafora.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes unanimously. New business, extension of time on preliminary plan, Rockwood Park Site Condominium. Permanent parcel 08283766002, located on the north side of 21 Mile Road, a quarter mile east of Romeo Plank Road, section 28, Gasper Manasso, petitioner. Mr. Box.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commission. This property is located on 21 Mile, right next to Waldenburg Park. This is their second, possibly even third extension of time. I guess I didn't check that. But it is a single-family development. They do have their approved site plan. There's only, as you see here, a handful, I think 21 units proposed here. It is a difficult site. Those of you who live in the area probably know this, and anybody who's been to Waldenburg after a heavy rain, there's some drainage concerns, and I know they're working through those issues. And from speaking with Mr. Van Tiffelen, it seems that they are maybe a month or two away at this time. And since their existing plan is expiring, they are seeking an extension of time. At this point, staff is approving of this request.
Okay. Will there be shovels in the ground this fall, do you think, or this summer?
If what Mr. Van Tiffelen mentioned is the case, then I would assume so, yes.
Okay. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Spatafora?
Joss, is there a recommended time the planning department has as far as this latest extension?
1 year.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Just one, I guess for the record, there have not been, or have there been delays by the petitioner for the extension? Or is that primarily just getting through all the engineering, as you mentioned?
It's just getting through the engineering, is my understanding.
All right, thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Do we have a motion on this item?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, motion by Mr. Oliver to extend the time of, or on the preliminary plan, Rockwood Park site condominiums. Anybody want to?
I'll support.
I think Mr. Spatafora did.
It's okay.
No?
Go to
Okay,
Mr.
Mr. Meyerly
Sorry.
will second it.
Mr. Meyerly, got it.
Mr. Bentley, please call the roll.
Mr. Oliver?
Yes.
Mr. Marley? Mr. Spatafora?
Yes.
Mr. Bentley, yes. Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Okay. All ayes.
Motion passes unanimously. All right, on to the next item, public comments on not-agenda items. Seeing no one in our audience, I guess we can skip over that. Commissioners' comments, anyone? Anyone at all? Okay. Then let's move to the Macomb Township Board of Trustees Liaison update. Mr. Charles S. Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy.
You're welcome, Mr. Oliver.
A couple things at the last BOT meeting. We have now hired and put in place a new DPW director. His name is Kevin Johnson. And I think he started Monday, if I'm not mistaken. So he's up and running. Hired a new utility worker. So that's one good thing. The other thing that we did at the BOT meeting, we started the procedure, make that clear, to opt out of the large smart buses. Not the shuttle buses, but only the large smart buses. We think it'll save the residents approximately $3 million, but it's still gotta go through a lot of steps. So we don't know. We just started the procedure. So stay tuned. That's all I can tell you on that. And then the other thing, if you notice the chairs in the back, just to update our board on that, we're always in need for room during elections. So they're taking out these chairs because they're just bolted to the ground. But being that we take them out a lot of times, there's little pin stubs and they're trip hazards, and there's all that extra work of taking them out and putting them back. And then there's the carpet. So the board's decided to buy new chairs that we could just stack up when we need the space, and then put them back in place. It'd be a lot more convenient and quicker. The other ones, we're trying to sell them or even to donate them to somebody. And that's it.
Okay. The smart buses, the big bus,
Yes.
as opposed to the little bus. The little bus will still allow our seniors
Yes.
that don't have,
If you watched the board meeting, it was clear that every board member
okay,
was okay with the large buses, because we have one bus station just at the end of the township by Gratiot and Hall Road. And, but we still want to provide the service for the shuttle.
okay.
All right, so that, the board definitely does not want to lose the shuttle service. Okay, so, but again, it's just starting the process.
Sure.
Some of the counties have been able to get out. We don't know. We don't know. It'll go through I'm sure a segment of meetings and so forth and so on.
The shuttles will feed the large buses wherever the last
I don't think so. Mainly the shuttles are for the people that are Macomb Township residents that can't get a ride, so they can at least call a shuttle, set up an appointment, get picked up, get dropped off, get re-picked up. But it's mainly in our own township. For probably the bigger users of that will be the seniors.
Right.
So,
Okay. All right, nothing else?
nothing else.
Okay. ZBA liaison, Mr. Tuckfield is not here. Planning department items, Mr. Box.
just one item to report, and that is Melissa is back from maternity leave as of Monday of this week, so we are back to full strength, so we're happy to have her back.
Good. Anything else?
That's it.
I mean, we had all these papers on our,
Yeah, so you all have a binder. I assume you all got a binder when you were first appointed to the Planning Commission. Those are updated maps, as well as the updated bylaws that you just voted on at the last meeting, and an updated contact list.
okay, thank you.
I would add one thing, Mr. Hardy.
Yes, Mr. Oliver.
I know Mr. Bach don't want to brag, but I'm going to brag for him. The board was extremely happy about the master plan. They really liked it. They loved all the, effort that was put into it, to our residents, and trying to reach out to everyone and get everyone's opinion and their ideas. And so it was unanimously voted on, but the board was really happy. So I know Mr. Bach don't want to talk much about that, but it was a big part of him and his staff getting it through. So I just want to add that.
Great
Thank
job.
Kudos again.
Thank you.
Was there anyone that came to the meeting to ask questions or anything about the master plan?
No, not about the, to my knowledge, not about the master plan.
Okay,
They probably this is the smart bus is the only input we had.
sure. Okay. All right, then we have number 13, which is a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Spatafora, seconded by Mr. Meyerly. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Motion to adjourn has passed.